Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
All right, happy Thursday, everybody. Connor Chan here, and Elise Starwish giving you another edition of Primetime Local News. Of course, our question of the day, we asked, with spring coming, does this change of season affect your mood at all? Of course, there are those people that suffer from seasonal affective disorder, and you're telling me, it feels better when you have more sunlight and it's not as dark as it is, as quick as it gets now.
Yeah, I feel that way. I always feel better in the summer. Just when you notice that the sun's out a little longer during the week or during the day, that just makes you feel a little better. When you can go home after work and the sun's still out.
Yeah, and you can actually do things. You don't have to worry about how dark it is out there.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, well, we'll have all this and more coming up later on in the show, but right now let's send it over to Brett Holden, who's down at Lakeland College.
Well, right behind me right now is the State Trojans, and your Lakeland Rustlers are warming up for tonight's game. Between the two squads tonight is the ACAC men's basketball playoffs going on here at Lakeland. So that will be going on tonight at 6 o'clock. We will have coverage throughout the game and throughout tonight's cast, so that will be coming up tonight. But for now, let's head back into the studio where Elise has a look at your local news.
And May Cinema 6 will be undergoing some upgrades over the next few months to improve their viewer experience. New recliner and full-back rocker seats will be installed starting at the end of April. The new seats will drop the capacity of the theater from about 1,000 seats to 650, but the seats will have more room to improve comfort.
Since we've started in Lloydminster, we've had great support from the community, and we just want to enhance that and make it a better experience for the customers that come in and out of our theater, week after week, month after month, and years after support.
The theater will also start accepting debit and credit cards to pre-purchase movie tickets.
It's what our customers want, and we've kind of lagged behind in that regard. But it's definitely what people want to see, is they want to be able to use their debit cards and their credit cards. And the technology is kind of caught up to make the transition a bit easier.
Debit and credit purchases are expected to be ready for the Christmas season, while the chairs will be installed by May. And Vern's Pizza is putting on a fundraiser this weekend, and the proceeds will be going towards the residents in recovery. $5 from each 15-inch Vern's Original Pizza sold will be going to the group.
The proceeds from the fundraiser pretty much go into operations. We're starting this new house. We're still trying to get a women's house set up here. So the proceeds from the fundraiser will go towards supporting those programs.
This is the first time the fundraiser is being put on, and there is already plans to have it again.
Vern's has offered to do this on a semi-annual basis for us, so we'll definitely take advantage of that. And it's just good to get out in the community and let people find out more about residents in recovery.
The fundraiser will be taking place all day Friday and Saturday. And a grocery store in Maidstone, Saskatchewan held a contest which has now gone viral. Abby St. John went to get to the store's reaction.
Are you marked? Get set, go.
Brandy Jakes won a free shopping spree at AG Foods, but she only had 60 seconds to grab as much as she could.
It was amazing, actually. Actually, the adrenaline kicks in right away, and everything that you prepared goes out the window. So I was running down there, I was like, oh my God, oh my God. I was like throwing things in the car, missing the cart. It was amazing, actually.
The video of her shopping spree was posted to Facebook, and in a week, it has gained over 3 million views from people all over the world.
I was like, why? But you know what? It was awesome. I've been watching 2 million to 3 million now. It was awesome, so maybe it'll be a good advertisement for AG Foods.
The store has been putting on the contest for 4 years now, and having this year's contest video go viral has left the owners of the store shocked.
My husband was watching the likes or whatever, and it was like, it went to like 20,000 and it just kept on climbing, and we're both just astounded because it's like people from the U.S., people from all over the world have been commenting and watching and sharing and liking.
Abby St. John, Primetime Local News.
There's lots going on here in the border city, and Heather Klagas has the details in what's happening.
All this snow should make for a great trail coming up on Saturday as the Midwest Snow Kings host their first annual sled rally. Registration starts at 9 a.m. in Marshall. Just head for the hall. They'll get you all set and then you head out on the trails. And I believe the trail is 80 kilometers and you get to see some absolutely gorgeous scenery on this trail. Once you come back, they'll have beef on a bun for supper, then live music featuring Levi Herman. And this sled rally, it's a fundraiser. Proceeds going to Tell a Miracle and also the Legion in Marshall. Also coming up on Saturday, the Lloydminster Cross Country Ski Club really hopes you can join them as they gear up to host their annual Classic Loppet. And this is great. If you just want to ski a few kilometers, you can do that. If you want to take on a 10-kilometer route, you can do that as well. Registration will be at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning, then things get underway at 11 a.m. For all the details, check out their website, LloydminsterCrossCountrySkiClub.com. You've probably been busy shoveling a lot of snow, so you deserve a reward. How about an album from John Mellencamp? This one is called Other People's Stuff, and it includes his versions of other people's hit songs, including Teardrops Will Fall. If you want to win a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And if you need a good laugh tonight, the Snowed In Comedy Tour is on stage at the Vic Juba Community Theatre, and also coming to the Vic Juba on Saturday night, Abracadabra, a tribute to the music of ABBA. If you want to get tickets, go online, vicjubatheatre.ca. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klegus, and that's what's happening.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at Lakeline College tonight.
Tay Holiday joins us now, forward for the Lakeland Rustlers. Tay, this team, you haven't played this team yet this season. First place St. Trojans team. What do you know about this team, and what are you guys especially trying to focus on for tonight?
We know that they like to play a lot of one-on-one basketball. They don't really play good as a team, but they have three players that like to play a lot together and put up a lot of shots. So if we can stop those guys, we can stop them.
Now you're from Arkansas. Let's move now for you personally. How has the crowd been so far for this year's playoffs, and what's kind of the expectations for the rest of the playoffs?
Our fans have been good, like throughout regular season, preseason. We've been having pretty much the same fans, but we're hoping that it's a lot better for playoffs. Allowed, you know, we're trying to bring the goal home to our fans.
Now, let's talk once again more about, for you, what are you mostly focusing on, not only for tonight, but for the rest of the season?
Focusing on being the best player I can be for my team, you know, contributing wherever I can contribute, rebounds, defense, blocks, offense, wherever they need me, you know. It's a team sport, and we want to get the team together and involved.
Now, just under 30 seconds here, quick prediction for tonight.
I say we win.
That's what I like to hear. Come down 6 o'clock for tonight's tip-off between the Lakeland Rustlers and the St. Trojans. That'll be coming up, but for now, let's head back in the studio.
All right, thanks very much for taking a look at some current temperatures. It was a much warmer day today that's going to be over the next couple days, so enjoy the warm day while we can, because the next few days there are going to be a lot colder days ahead of us. Minus 13 with some sun and clouds in the area. That wind chill, though, feels more like minus 19. Not too much of a huge difference. Some records for this time of year: 7 degrees back in 1986 and minus 30 back in 2004. As we take a look at some cloud coverage coming in on the satellite radar map, we are going to get mostly some sun and cloud mix over the next couple days, which is always good. It's always nice to see some of that sunshine as we're closely approaching spring very quickly. It's mostly in the Edmonton-Vegreville area in the satellite radar map here. And there is a little bit of extreme cold warning that is in effect that Environment Canada has released for this region. I know it's not quite on here yet, but in the area, the wind chill will get up to close over minus 35 over the next couple of days, mainly heading into the weekend. And by the week, it should die down in terms of temperature there. Take a look at some other current temperatures around the region. Minus 9 in Edmonton, minus 6 in Red Deer, minus 3 Rocky Mountain House, and in Jasper, minus 11 in Athabasca, minus 12 in North Battleford and in Saskatoon, minus 16 in Melfort, and minus 13 in Prince Albert. As we get more in-depth into the regions, minus 22 overnight for North Battleford. They're heading into minus 20 into the morning with that wind chill. It's going to feel more like minus 29, and then minus 17 for the daytime, but it'll feel more like minus 26 with some flurries there. Cold Lake, they're going to be minus 24 overnight. Tomorrow morning, they're going to head into minus 21, but more like minus 32. And then daytime tomorrow, minus 19, but feeling more like minus 28 with mostly cold temperatures you can see on the graphic there. And for us here in the border city, minus 23 overnight and minus 21 into the morning, minus 20 in the daytime high, but it's going to feel more like minus 30 with that wind chill. And of course, as I mentioned, the extreme cold warning, and minus 21 on Saturday, minus 17 on Sunday, but those temperatures could reach over minus 30. We'll have more primetime local news after the break.
Welcome back. Well, keeping track of the exact spot where you left your cow has a few added incentives. In this week's Egg Report, Gerard Lampa learns about premises ID.
Tracing livestock and knowing who owns which cow is a key tool that producers are being encouraged to access. Livestock specialist Jennifer Hayden, who is based in North Battleford, is urging producers to get their premises identification.
It's basically linking a geographic location to a group of livestock, any type of livestock. So whether that's cattle, sheep, horses, alpacas, you name it, if it's livestock, we're going to want a PID to go with it.
Tracking the origin of an illness and managing its containment is just one aspect.
It's important in terms of disease. So if we've got a disease outbreak or some other type of health hazard that's occurring, we want to be able to get producers in the know pretty quickly. So with that database, it's easy to do that.
It's also beneficial in the event of natural disasters.
Also for natural risk, things like flood or wildfires, tornadoes, something like that we can get the word out quickly. Was used pretty extensively in BC during the wildfires and just made things a lot easier in terms of tracking animals and knowing who to contact.
Hayden says being able to identify the origin of livestock is an added bonus along with a plan to move them to safety. Premises ID is also needed to access funding programs.
So if they're wanting to apply for the CAP funding or the Canadian Agricultural Partnership, you'll need to have a PID if you do have livestock for that. There's other sort of in-house services that we'll do like water testing or things like that where we do ask that you have a PID in order to take part in that service.
Producers are being invited to sign up for their PID or as well call the Ag Knowledge Center.
You can either go online directly and fill out the form online. You can go online and print out a form and fill it out. You can go into a regional office, have someone help you fill it out or pick up the form there. You can also phone in either to a regional office or to the Ag Knowledge Center, and they'll just do them over the phone as well.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
This Ag Report is brought to you by the Lloydminster Co-op Agro Center. Depend on them for product, tools, and expert advice. Shop at your local Lloyd Co-op Agro Center with branch locations in Lashburn and Neilburg.
That's your egg news. Sports is next, but first we'll take a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Taking a look at your local sports now. Well, on the court action of the ACAC Men's Basketball Championship kicked off this afternoon. The tournament officially began last night at the annual awards banquet. Tay Holiday was the lone wrestler's representative during the process, making the first all-conference team in the North Division. The wrestlers don't come into the tournament with much momentum after losing twice last week. However, they hope to use the home crowd and the experience of last year to their advantage.
As a host team, we want to come out and try to prove that we belong. Last year, you know, we ended up second, so we're trying to go for gold this year.
Against the top-ranked State Trojans, defensive intensity will set the tone for the rest of the game.
No one in the league plays defense like we play defense. Our defense, when we want to play it, it's hectic, and we get teams out of what they're used to doing, and then they play right into our hands.
If we're consistent and disciplined, especially on the defensive end, we have a chance against anybody. And just, soak up the moment. This time goes by fast, right? Before you know it, you're a coach or you're with your family or you're doing other things. So enjoy this moment and give it all you have.
It's a rematch of last year's ACAC final where the Trojans took home the title. And Johnny Manziel's time with the Canadian Football League is over. The former Heisman Trophy winner joined the Montreal Alouettes in July after a stint with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Yesterday, the CFL dismissed him from the league, saying he failed to comply with a number of confidential conditions he agreed to in order to play in the league. On Twitter, Manziel thanked the Alouettes and the fans, saying his time in Canada reestablished his love for the game. And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at Lakeland College.
Justin Roger joins us now, one of the PA announcers here at Lakeland College. Justin, let's talk to just first of all, what you're expecting from tonight's game. Obviously, Lakeland's facing a higher seed with SAIT, a very strong team. So what are some expectations for tonight?
Well, it's true they're facing a much higher seed in SAIT from the South, very strong team. But magic's happened here at Lakeland before. I was here announcing for the women's provincials a couple of years ago where very similar thing, 4 seed goes up against the 1 seed, big upset, and they end up winning the national championship at the end of the day. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but I think it's going to be, very competitive.
Now, let's talk now. You mentioned that you've seen just a lot of big moments here at Lakeland. Let's talk about some that really stick out and really what this building is like when the crowd is eccentric.
I mean, it's such a small room, which is great because you just have the bleachers on the one side, and Lloydminster usually comes out and packs them, which is, as a PA announcer, that's all I want. I just want people to yell while I'm yelling, right? There's nothing fun about yelling when there's nobody in the stands. So, when that upset happened against Briarcrest, the place was packed, and it went absolutely nuts for the women's volleyball team, and I expect no less tonight.
So quickly here, let's talk about if you are coming out to tonight's game, what to expect and what to bring if you are a fan here.
I mean, what you can bring is also what you will expect, which is energy, enthusiasm, and intensity. It's going to be an intense game. We have very enthusiastic fans, and the energy in the room is very high.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us, Justin.
Awesome. Thank you.
More coming up tonight here. The Lakeland Rustlers go up against the SAIT Trojans here for the ACAC playoffs. That's coming up tonight at 6 o'clock, so come down, come support the Rustlers. We will have more coming up, but for now, let's head back into the studio.
All right, thanks very much, Brett. Taking a look at some current temperatures. Once again, minus 13 for us currently right now in the border city, minus 12 in Vermilion, minus 13 out in Marwayne. A little further out east, minus 12 in Maidstone, minus 12 in North Battleford, minus 13 in St. Walburg, minus 14 in Meadow Lake and Green Lake. Over down Highway 16 west, we see minus 12 in Vegreville and minus 9 out in Edmonton, minus 13 in Bonnyville and Lac La Biche, and Coal Lake sitting at minus 14, as well as Pierceland Wainwright sitting at minus 10. Provost at minus 11. Take a look at some other temperatures around Alberta. Minus 7 in Grand Prairie, minus 12 in Peace River and Slave Lake, minus 18 in High Level and Fort McMurray, minus 23 in Fort Chippewa, a little bit colder there. And over in Saskatchewan, a little bit colder out in Uranium City at minus 25, as well as in Stony Rapids, minus 17s across the board in La Loche, Buffalo Narrows, and La Ronge, minus 20 down in Wollaston Lake. Down south in Saskatchewan, minus 12 out in Swift Current and Moose Jaw and Regina, and minus 10 out in Estevan, minus 16 in Yorkton, minus 8 down in Kindersley, and out on Alberta, minus 7 in Lethbridge, minus 8 Medicine Hat, minus 5 Calgary, and minus 1 Banff. And Coordination sitting at minus 10 as well. Now, I did mention there is that extreme cold warning that Environment Canada has issued. That's mainly for the weekend because it's going to be over minus 30 with the wind chill over the next 3 days. We could see possibly minus 40 heading into Saturday morning with that wind chill, even though what it could be. So tomorrow, minus 20 for across the boards here in Vermilion, Lloydminster, Maidstone, Macklin, Provost, and Edmonton, and Lac La Biche as well. Minus 21 in St. Paul, Marwayne, minus 19s out in Bonnyville, Cold Lake, and Pierceland. Quickly take a look at Saskatchewan really quickly. Minus 17 North Battleford, minus 19 in St. Walburg, minus 18 out in Meadow Lake. Take a look at the snow accumulation as I mentioned. Now there may not be any snow. It's just going to be the cold that's going to play a major factor over the next couple of days. All that snow is more down south out in BC, out in some parts in Saskatchewan as well. Take a look at the school day forecast. Very, very cold, especially if you're walking to schools. Make sure you're bundled up because that wind chill will make it feel more like closer to minus 30 or just over minus 30. 8 a.m. minus 23, minus 22 at recess time with some cloud coverage, minus 21 at lunchtime again with cloud coverage. Home time sitting at minus 20 with some sun peeking out there with mostly some cloud coverage. Take a look at the next 7 days. It's going to be cold. Friday overnight, we are expecting minus 41 heading into Saturday. That's with the wind chill. Saturday morning, we could see minus 42 with the wind chill, even though it's supposed to be there with the minus 21 there. Minus 17 on Sunday is the daytime high there, but that wind chill could feel more closer to minus 25, minus 11 Monday, minus 11 Tuesday, minus 11 Wednesday as well, and minus 12 Thursday. So it's going to get warmer. It's just going to be the weekend that's going to be super, super cold. Make sure you're all bundled up and ready for that. But we'll have more primetime local news after the break. Well, we had some technical problems there. We'll try to get back to Brett Holt down at Lakeland College as soon as we can get that under control here. But right now, let's talk about our question of the day. And we asked, with spring fast approaching, you feel that your mood changes, you feel happier, you know, because it's not as doesn't get as dark as quickly as it does now. And you know, there's just more flowers. The grass is more, trees are more in bloom. And of course, we also asked, how do you prepare for spring? You know, there's a lot of things people do, like the cleaning. I should probably be on that bandwagon. There's a few people that did say. One woman did say, excuse me, making camping reservations, and then also another woman said, you know, get the itch to clean. Of course, that's the big thing a lot of people do as well.
For sure. My favorite thing is with the spring cleaning, just dusting and being able to open your windows and not freeze. We may not be able to do that quite yet, but that I'm looking forward to for sure. And I also like to buy plants for the house too in the spring for some reason. Just get all that nice oxygen in the house.
Yeah, it's just nice to have that natural air come in because you know, just because having that nice breeze in the evening. I mean, I don't have a screen on mine, so I'm worried that a bird's gonna fly in. I actually almost had that happen once or twice where a bird's like tapped on my window, and if I had a screen. I probably should. But I mean, when my key didn't work, that's the only way that I would get into my house, to be honest.
That's a bit of a disaster.
It was a bit of a disaster, but you know, the spring cleaning thing is definitely something I need to get on that bandwagon for.
For sure.
But sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, the best part of the spring is just feeling fresh and hitting the reset button and having the sun out later. That's my favorite part.
Absolutely. I'm sure a lot of people feel that way as well. Well, it's that time of the show right now where we get to take a look at your pets. They always make us happy no matter what time of year it is.
No matter what season, right?
This is Tekka, submitted there by Alana. She likes to sit up.
So
very,
cute.
Very cute. I love when animals sit up like people
little
do.
Human,
it's very, very adorable. Up next we have Molly, submitted there by
Molly.
Karina. She's tired. She's 11 years old.
Big
Molly.
yawn.
Very, very cute. Next we have Chief and Ophelia, submitted by Suzanne. Very cute cat and dog duo. Yes, they look like best friends. This is Vinny. I like the hat. Very.
That's a great photo.
Submitted there by Andrew, even though it says no photos, but he doesn't enjoy that. And last but not least, we have Blue, submitted there by Robin. Very, very adorable. And right now we're gonna actually, excuse me, if your pet was shown, you're automatically eligible to win a Pet Pad gift card, which is giving away tomorrow at the end of Primetime Local News.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Chris Newrider joins us now here at Lakeland College, father of Lakeland Wrestlers player Kobe. Now, let me ask you a question as far as opposed to Kobe's name. Was that a little bit of, foreshadowing? Or?
A little bit, yeah. My wife picked it, actually, so.
There we go. And as you can see, he's out here tonight. Now, big game against State for Kobe. As a parent, just seeing in a high-stakes game, what does it mean for you? And just when it comes to the nerves, what's it like?
Yeah, it's actually, I'd rather be playing. It's much harder watching. I did play some basketball, and it's just part of the game. But watching your kid play, it's a little different.
Now it's very loud as the boys are starting to get pumped up for tonight's game. Now let's talk about this season now for Lakeland. What's kind of the expectations that you've seen throughout the season heading into tonight and for the playoffs as well?
Yeah, they've had an up and down year. They had some really bad injuries and some stuff in the first semester. Now they finally got everybody back, and hopefully tonight we all come together and pull the upset over Sate.
Now, as a parent, seeing just all the things that not only you had to sacrifice, but throughout Kobe's basketball season or career, I guess. What's it like being able to see your son playing in such a big game for not only tonight, but throughout the weekend?
Yeah, we're very proud of him coming from a small town in Marwayne, a 1A school, and being able to play college ball. It's very gratifying.
Thank you for joining us, Chris.
Okay, thank you very much.
Tonight, Lakeland goes up against Sate, as mentioned. Sate not quite on the court yet, but the Lakeland Rustlers are warming up. Tip-off is at 6 o'clock, so come rather, and support the Lakeland Rustlers. That's tonight. Let's now go to commercial.
I'm joined with Dana Priest, co-owner of Prism Apparel. Thank you so much for joining us today.
It's a pleasure.
And we're going to be talking, this is cool because not only does your store sell clothing, but you have a section just based on maternity clothing as well. So that's really cool. And do you want to just kind of talk about what you guys have to offer for that?
Absolutely. So we originally started doing production with customizing options for mugs, cups, hats, clothing.
Yep.
And then we started reaching out more into fashion and realized there was a better market in the maternity because there wasn't much of an option in Lloydminster.
Yeah.
So we just kept expanding and branching, and soon we realized we needed to subdivide the name of the company. So we gave it Mama Bear Maternity and More because it's for before you're pregnant, during pregnancy, after pregnancy. So,
you guys
and we got pretty much everything you need right here in town instead of making that trip to the city. So it saves you some fuel.
Absolutely, for sure. And you brought us some gifts and some stuff to see. So do you want to kind of just show us? Let's start off with these things here that's on the counter here, and just kind of walk us through some of those options that you have here as well.
Absolutely. So what I had mentioned before pregnancy, one of our most popular items was the fertility suites.
Cool.
So this is good for men and women. It helps with a lot of the lack of nutrition and vitamins that your body may need for the fertility phase.
Yeah.
We do have fertility teas as well, but they sell out as soon as we get them in because it's a popular item.
Yeah.
So that is a great option.
Yeah.
During pregnancy, one of our next popular items is our morning sickness sweets.
Awesome.
So while you're at work, you just grab a candy, from your purse and just pop it as you start to feel nauseous.
Yeah.
Another awesome piece are the nutrition bars for morning sickness.
Nice.
So as you can feel, they're really condensed. So what I tell girls to do is to cut them into little squares and just pop them like you would a candy. So instead of eating this compacted bar in one sitting, you can just have this little cube of it when you start feeling sick.
Yeah,
because when you're having morning sickness, the last thing you want is to hork down this thick bar, and it's like
sitting in your
that's
stomach.
not going to feel good.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Then after pregnancy, we got tons of options to help with lactation. So we have these were a big seller as well. Instead of taking tea, they're vegetarian capsules.
Oh, cool.
So they have everything the tea would have. So instead of sitting there drinking, like girls who are, who end up going back to work and they don't have time to go and make a coffee or a tea and drink it, they can just pop some of these to help with the flow when they decide to go back and pump.
Awesome.
And then just like belly oils and skin and scar creams.
So you have a lot of different options that aren't just necessarily like clothing and stuff. You guys provide a lot of different things, and maybe not many people know that you offer that. So that's very cool.
Yeah, I always try and promote these the most because, like anybody can go and grab shirts anywhere. Like I find maternity shirts are like a luxury item to have. Of course you want something that's very comfortable to wear.
Yeah.
But I really love promoting these products and our pants because the pants are a huge comfort necessity when you're pregnant.
Yeah, well, let's talk about those pants because you brought in some of those as well.
I did.
So just, how often do you guys sell these? Pretty much all the time? Do they come in pretty often? Or
we go through more pants than we do anything. The shirts, like I said, are super nice to have because they have the ruching on the sides that helps stretch if you're carrying really high or really low. But honestly, the pants are where it's at. You want to have something really comfortable because I have been pregnant twice. I got two little boys and I carried high and I carried low, and it's like night and day pregnancies. You want to have something that doesn't increase the risk of pinching that sciatic nerve. And again, if you're carrying really low, it's hard to pull leggings up over. So even just having the nice bands are really great. And then for the girls who don't go out a lot. We started bringing in sweats. Like you can feel it's rayon and
They're
cotton.
so soft.
They are
Amazing.
so soft.
Yeah.
I was telling my employees, I was like, if I was pregnant, I'd be wearing these all the time.
Yeah.
We got dress pants for girls who still have office jobs while they're pregnant, and then just like stretchy denim.
You hook it
Lots
up.
of
You got it all.
Yeah, we really branch out to offer as much products as we can for everyone's comfortability.
Yeah.
Because like I had mentioned, everyone who's pregnant has a different pregnancy.
Totally.
So we need to make sure that we offer products that can help everybody in some aspects.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for bringing all this stuff in and all your knowledge. So it's good to know. Prism Apparel, all right here, Mama Bear Maternity. So definitely shop local if you're looking for some stuff. So thank you so much for coming in today, Dana. We appreciate it. Thanks. I'm joined with Pam Wolf today from the Lloydminster Hearing Center, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Not a problem, it's my pleasure.
We haven't had a hearing clinic person on today, so it's lots of knowledge that we can get from you. And basically, I just wanted to start off with what kind of services you offer at the hearing clinic.
Okay, so mainly we deal with adults, 18 plus. We do hearing testing is what I do specifically.
Yeah.
Fitting of hearing aids. We do a lot of custom services though, like you can get custom earbuds for headphones, you can get custom ear protection, a lot of that stuff, but mostly it's just hearing testing and hearing aid fitting.
Cool. And so with that, I feel like lots of people may leave their hearing health kind of last minute, like they don't think about it. You go to the doctor, you go to the dentist, but then that's just
You don't
kind
think
of
about it. No,
the last
I
thing.
mean, even as young adults, we get our hearing tested, we get our eyes tested, pardon me, once a year. You don't think of it, right?
Yeah.
Hearing testing should be the same thing. Now we recommend, you know, at 60, test your ears once a year at 60. But it does take people on average 7 years from when they notice they have a problem to walk in my door for that first hearing test, right?
That's crazy.
At Lloydminster Hearing Center, we figure the more we normalize it and the more we make it okay, the more you're going to come in for that hearing test. So we actually do offer complimentary assessments for every adult.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so you get that hearing test, you come in, and at least you have the knowledge, if nothing else, of what's going on in there, right? Be informed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so when someone comes in for a hearing test, what does that look like exactly? Walk me through how
So
it
you don't need a doctor referral.
Yeah.
You book it yourself. You walk in the door, you fill out some intake forms for us, and you're with me for a whole hour. So we put you in a booth, we put some headphones on you, you do some responding to different tones so we can get like a threshold, see what your hearing's like.
Cool.
You get the results right then. So you come out of the booth, and then we just sit in my office and discuss things, and I give you recommendations and tell you kind of what the next step would be, right?
Very cool.
Where you go from there.
Yeah, and so with hearing, I know that I know very little about it, but with hearing, I know that your hearing is very sensitive, and it's something that needs to be protected. So
It does.
Is there ways to prevent hearing damage ahead of time?
Of course, industrial damage, right? Especially being in the center we are, and noise damage is very common.
Yeah.
Wearing the proper hearing protection like ear muffs or earplugs is really important. And even not industrial, getting that hearing test, right? We hear with our brains as much as our ears. So getting that hearing test, supporting the brain health, right? And supporting that function will give you much better ability in the future to keep your hearing and keep engaged and socially active.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And with hearing aids, I feel like there is a bit of a stigma behind it. It's like only old people need hearing aids, and I don't need hearing
Every
aids
day.
and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So with that, how do you kind of break that stigma when you're talking to a patient? How do you reach those people?
Well, I mean, hearing aids nowadays have Bluetooth in them.
Cool.
You have the ability to stream wirelessly from devices to the hearing aids like their headphones.
Yeah.
You can talk on your phone through the hearing aids. So a lot of my clients are in their 50s. I have clients in their 40s, right?
Yeah.
It's not something, I know that my grandmother would not care if her phone could stream to her ears, right?
Right,
But a lot of my clients, that's a feature that puts them back in, right? And actually a feature that gives them more ability than somebody with normal hearing, right? That they can stream, but nobody knows you're actually listening to your phone when
Yeah.
you're just wearing these hearing aids that nobody can see.
That's super
right?
cool.
Early intervention, I would say to them, is key. The earlier we treat a hearing loss, the more successful you're going to be long term.
Awesome.
Right? It's super important.
For sure. Well, thank you so much for coming in
Not a
today. We
problem.
really appreciate it. And
Thanks for
thank you
having
for all
me.
the knowledge. If you are looking to get your hearing tested, what's the best way that they can reach you guys?
The best way is just to call our office.
Yeah.
You get us to it directly. You can talk to the person on the front, book the hearing assessment, come talk to me. And even if you're not ready for a hearing test, just come in and visit and get some information.
Totally.
We're
Just
totally ready for
familiarize
that.
yourself.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much for
Not
coming
a
in today,
problem.
Pam. We appreciate it. Thank you.